Hello everybody and welcome back to a new stream on the Gaming Lodge. Today, for the first time in 2 weeks, we're back with Dead by Daylight. Now, I don't think I need to explain that the, DBD community has been in a little bit of an uproar in these past 2 weeks, including myself. I've made a couple of videos in the past week talking about the issues and problems that have currently been going on, not just with Dead by Daylight, but just the company / studio behind the game behavior themselves. And I did also already say that I wanted to release a, for now, final video surrounding that entire topic yesterday on Sunday. But I've been reworking that video a little bit. I already had like majority of the script finished and everything and whatnot, but I kind of realized midway through that I kind of want to tweak it into a bit of a little different direction, you know? So I'm still working on that. It's now either coming out Tuesday evening, so later today, or on Wednesday. Yeah, I kind of wanted to take my time there, and I didn't just want to rush throw it out or whatever, right? Taking your time to perfectionize those videos is always the best way to go. But yeah, like mentioned, we made a handful of videos in the past few days. One of them, really good numbers on top of that, nearly 20,000 views. It was pretty cool to see. So yeah, again, the DBD Walking Dead chapter released. It was horrible. Huge bugs, technical issues, game-breaking perks that were ignored until the community uproar was too loud to ignore. They ended up apologizing and everybody was like, okay, we're giving them the benefit of the doubt. Let's see what's gonna happen next. And a few days later, they're having that live stream with Chandler Riggs, aka Carl. And yeah, again, I think you've all seen the story by now already. They're getting DDoS live on stream, an issue that has been in the game for years, but they've ignored it up until it affected them themselves. Odds was there, giving them a solution to do it, they ignored him, and then Chandler was like, I tried it for what Odds said, and they ignored it too, and then the stream after like 1 hour and whatnot. It was a huge embarrassment. It was super frustrating to watch along and just talk about, because again, it's something so easy to avoid, you know what I mean? Stuff like that always makes me the most mad when you realize it's like so easy to avoid happening. It's so easy to just not have any of that happen. Like if I was in their shoes, I would be thinking like, you know what I mean? But all right, can I please open the live stream here? Thank you. With all that being said, I did already say though that I'm not going to quit DBD or anything. Yeah, if anything, these videos that I've now made in these past few days and the video that I am making at the moment, they're kind of a sign of me caring. Yeah, I care about the game, I care about its health, and because it's enjoyable, I love it, it's, you know, so they just want it to do better, right? Again, I will be making a video called How Behavior Can Save Dead by Daylight. I don't think it's dying, but there's definitely some things that need to be done. And again, it will be out either later today or on Wednesday. And I'll be going more into those kind of things. Anyway, like mentioned, it's now been 2 weeks since we played the game. And yeah, let's honestly just get into it, I'd say. Let's maybe start a bit chill with a round of Survivor, I'd say, okay? And then see how the Q times on Killer look like. So yeah, let's maybe just do this build. I do guess I could kind of talk about the video they've put out. I mean, honestly, maybe I could actually talk about some of the talking points in my video throughout the stream. Because let's be honest, most people that will end up watching the video probably won't be here to stream right now anyways. Yeah, might as well, honestly. Because they've now released a like 7-minute long video a couple of days ago where they were talking about you know, they were talking about the issues of these past 2 weeks and everything, and that now they are actually taking measures to improve the game. Those measures being pushing back content so that they can take more time to actually fix some of the current issues, to polish those releases so that we won't have a situation like this again. And that's a really good thing. Because if we're being honest, The Walking Dead chapter, like, it came so close after FNAF, and FNAF was already, like, very close after Kadeki. Like, on the one hand, it's, like, great that there's so much new content coming out, but it's also clear that Behavior / Dead by Daylight is just also not the kind of game that necessarily needs it. And also, obviously, by the looks of it, just doesn't have the capacity to do it. I look at Marvel Rivals as an example, which has been like pushing out new heroes and a lot of skins and whatever, like very, very frequently, every week basically, with new heroes joining the roster every couple weeks. And here the thing is, they can afford it. Oh, lovely. They can afford it, they have the resources and all that kind of stuff to actually frequently put out content in such manner, right? Huntress. Okay. It's been a while. Don't know where, sadly. Oh wait, she's right here. Oh wow. I did not see her at all for so long. Okay, you two sit on a gen. I gotta go walk around, okay. So like the decision to go ahead and push that back to like actually take the time polish stuff is generally good, right? Because let's be honest, you could tell that they just kind of overwhelmed themselves a little bit. I don't know if it's because of like contractual stuff and, you know, with IPs, like, yeah, we want it to be released here and then and blah blah blah. You also obviously don't know how long they've been working on it before. But just if you think about it, last year, Behavior like laid off. Oh wow, I did not expect her to hit me there. If you think about it, they laid off like 100 workers last year, right? Yet they've consistently like been pushing out a lot of content, a lot of stuff. Wow, what timed. That's why Huntress is so fun to play against, so by the way, because it's like, it's so simple in theory, but it's like actually kind of difficult to counter. Cool. They laid off so many workers that like consistently kept such a huge loadout on content. And it was obvious to me that that would interfere at some point, or that there will be a point where it would be too much. Like you cannot keep a same loadout of content while simultaneously laying off so many workers. It just won't work. You're not only overworking your workers that way, but also become less efficient and more prone to things like we've seen it, yeah? Technical issues, other problems, and whatnot. But this is honestly not even like the biggest... Like, the biggest problem about all of that is that all of these technical issues and all of that probably wouldn't be as much of a thing if the game was in a general better state. Because if we're being honest, Dead by Daylight is a soggy brick. Or a, better said, a metaphor that I will be using in my video is Dead by Daylight is like a very old, worn out car. Like, it's been through so much, it's seen so many things, has a lot of miles on it. Maybe I should focus a little bit. There's a lot of miles on its record. And that's respectable and that kind of stuff. But there has to come time where one needs to think, okay, is it maybe a good idea just buy a new car? Yeah? Because right now, DBD is at a point where you just constantly have to repair things. Yeah? There continues to be issues with the car. You might have a flat tire. which you can get fixed. But then for some reason there's some issues with the battery, like some nagging issues that you just can't seem to fix. Another day the motor's like acting up. Another day your windshield randomly breaks, your mirror gets messed up or whatever. And you're constantly like able to tweak some of those things every now and then. But like these long-standing issues with the battery and the motor just constantly remain. You have days where the car drives fine, then there's other days where it like gets broken down in the middle of the highway or whatever, you know. And that is the point where instead of consistently trying to put time and resources into getting that car running in some way, at that point you should just think about getting a new car. In other words, talking about Dead by Daylight, I think what Behavior needs to do right now is rebuild Dead by Daylight from scratch. What does that mean? The game what we're playing on right now is, like mentioned, very old, it's worn out, it's very prone to troubles and issues and whatnot. They need to rebuild it from scratch. And that obviously is very costly. It's going to take a lot of resources, a lot of time. But that is, in my opinion, the step they need to take. Now, here's obviously two ways you have to go about it. Either they go for a very drastic option, which would be we're shutting down servers at the moment, and we're back in the year with a new build. And that's obviously not feasible. It's not. You can't do that, okay? So what they instead need to do is to keep the game and the servers running. Keep the same designated team on it, maybe stock it up a little bit. And then simultaneously have new employees, a lot of workers, build a new Dead by Daylight from the ground up. A game that runs smoothly. It's not messed up by technical issues. Why is she going that heavily for the Michaela though? At this point you should have just gone for me or the Yunjin. To maybe create a little bit of pressure, because she started pretty good with a pretty tough start. We've come back a little bit. Oh. By the way, once again, playing Survivor so I can just sit here and talk and rant and share my thoughts. I have like so much time to like actually share due to uninterruptedly. Playing Survivor is just so chill. Anybody that's like Survivor is like hard or stressful to play, it's incomparable together. Oh, I mean, that is bad. Quick W, come on. Alright. I have no idea where she's at. She could be right in front of me, she could be below me. I think she's down there somewhere. Oh god, where was I? Where was I? I've lost the plot. Yeah, there's other things one can talk about as well. In sense of like balancing and creative ideas and all of that stuff. Those are all things one definitely should talk about as well, and I will mention them in my video as well. Yeah, they definitely need to do stuff about that as well. In my opinion, just like trusting like creators like Odds or Hands or whatever, or just the community more general, I think would already go a very long way. But again, the main problem for me right now with Dead by Daylight, or the main thing that would massively increase the health of the game and the goodwill of the community, would be rebuilding Dead by Daylight from scratch. She already had the same idea, wow. But yeah, once again, super chill game. I can just talk so much, like, man, Survivor's so chill, dude. It's crazy. Survivor's so chill to play, it's unbelievable. He seems pretty solid though, by the way. Uh-oh. Open the fucking door. She 100% got no it. She 100% got no it. That's no it, I guarantee you. No? Okay, then not. Whatever. Completely going crazy for no reason. So, like, there's other standing issues with DBD in terms of balancing, design, even like split within the community and the player base and everything, which makes listening to the community often a little bit problematic too, definitely. But right now, the main priority they should have taken years ago, in my opinion, is going. Whoops, I didn't want to take a screenshot. Is going ahead and fixing these technical issues and like the problematic state of like the health of the game, and that will not be achieved unless you rebuild the game from scratch. Which again, the most fathomable way to achieve that is, hey, we're making a new designated team that will work on that as we still try to make the game in its current state work. Which again, they've now said they want to take the time to polish things more up, push releases back into the future, to take more time to polish it and whatnot. Good idea, good start. But things like the Walking Dead chapter are gonna happen again. I guarantee you. It's going to happen again. It's inevitable. Because like mentioned, it's a broken car. You can drive it. It's still fathomable, like you can still drive on the highway with it every now and then. But there will be a day where you'll be stranded. And you'll be left on the side of the road. Other days you might struggle with getting the motor going, but it will drive on. Other days you might won't get to start it at all. And it will just continue to happen unless you just get yourself a new car. Yeah, it will continue to happen unless you get a new car. And again, it's gonna be expensive. It's gonna take a lot of resources, and even if they said, okay, we're starting this in a few months, we won't be seeing it up until like, I don't know, depends on how much they're throwing into it and how many workers they would actually employ for it. And again, I obviously no like developer or designer in that sense, or like definitely don't have the expertise slash the knowledge to 100% know how long it would take or like how much actually goes into it. I did talk with someone on the Odds Discord server though, who like gave his 2 cents and was like, yeah, trust me, it's gonna take a while. I mean, I can check. When did Dead by Daylight first got developed? I would kind of love to see that. When was it first worked on? How long did Behavior work on DBD before releasing it? Approximately 2 years. Okay. I would be thinking though they would. I mean, I'm not sure how many employees they had at that time. They were a pretty small studio. So let's just say 2 years. Okay, let's just assume 2 years. 2 years is in 2027. Yeah, later 2027. If they said, okay, we're starting this October, we're rebuilding DBD simultaneously. Demo Gorgon? Oh wow, I love it here. Playing against Huntress and Demo Gorgon back to back instead of Kaneki. Wow, that's so refreshing. So like, even if they like, it's obviously it's a long-term solution, okay? The short-term solution to like definitely improve DBD in general would 100% be, as mentioned, listen to your content creators more, community as well, but like content like Odds and Hens who just like actually play both roles and just have a bit of a better expertise and knowledge about the game than your average player. I think that would already go a long way to prevent problematic killer designs or problematic perks and all that stuff, right? There's like a good short-term solution that they can definitely take, even though either way, like coming up with new perks and powers and abilities and all that stuff, that's gonna be troublesome either way. That's always gonna be a challenge, and if we're being honest, whether it's all of our rivals, League of Legends or Dead by Daylight, you're never gonna get a 100% balance. You can say that yes, like trying to rebuild nurse or something like that, or things one could do so that the power creep wouldn't be so bad. And I don't know, there's definitely like things that they can do more soonish that would just be about like the game in general, even without looking at the technical aspect, just like thinking about the balancing and design choices. But the best long-term solution right now is to rebuild DBD as soon as possible so that the future of the game stabilizes. Because again, right now, issues like this recent stream, it will happen again. I guarantee you. Yeah. Because here's the thing also. Stuff like gym, right? That little meta bar at the top left corner of the screen that was like in the game after the recent chapter updates. One would think, hey, this is something. What else? The sound effect. Did you hear that? This little. Oh, super weird. Is it from the portals? I think it's from the portals actually. I haven't played against demo for so long that I didn't even realize. But yeah, like the metal beam, right? One would think, isn't that something you should be able to fix within like matter of moments, matter of minutes? Remember the dev code from a couple of years ago where they were like, if you're trying to fix one bug, you're just going to get 5 new ones. And I guess it would be the same case here. It's something that got like somewhat left over, and if they were trying to fix it right now, it would just lead to more bugs occurring elsewhere. And one could say that this is an issue of like the devs, but no, it's an issue of the game. It's an issue of the build. You know what I mean? Like, if anything, at this point, I'm actually feel sad and sorry for a lot of the devs. What? Because they have to work with this piece of shit engine and this piece of shit build that like basically falls apart at like any given chance. That was a bit buggy. Would have went even insane had I will. No, the pal was already taken here. Little salt chase. Okay, again, it's definitely easy to talk when playing Survivor, much easier when trying to play Killer. But you still have to focus every now and then. You can't just be sitting on jets again. I actually feel sorry for the devs at this point because they have to work with a build that is so fragile, and we're trying to fix things probably takes much longer than you would usually need to because it's that unstable and like so prone to issues occurring, right? Like that's why actions, like again, I don't want to take too much offensive for them because again, like not for the devs but like behavior in general, because again there have been decisions recently that are just not defendable in sense of like, oh wow, I didn't even realize you could do that. Wait, you can have a that close to the hook? I didn't even realize. Wait, where the hell is he? I mean, that's just frustrating. Oh, I guess I shouldn't have hewed so close, but I also kind of didn't expect him to come back for me. That's so unfortunate. God damn it. You know, like, the head of the table decisions have been bad. Okay? Stuff like ignoring Odds live on stream, shutting down Chandler Riggs live on stream. Those kind of decisions, those remain bad. And those remain stuff you need to criticize behavior for, 100%. It just, again, general, like, balancing and design choices and whatnot. But, like, in terms of, like, bug fixing and trying to work around with, like, these technical issues, I genuinely believe at this point, the devs that have to try to fix them, I really cannot blame them. Guys, can you please save me, please? I mean, okay, he's camping it out. I get it. Yeah, it's demo. Demo needs this. Can't blame it at all. Like, securing a kill here is so important right now to keep the game alive somehow, so... Oh, wow. I get it, bro. You people are such brave soldiers. The thing is he coming for me now? He should. Okay, he's okay. He looks okay. Does he have something in here? I'm not sure. Should be safer for now, though. You know, stuff like that, I cannot blame the devs for anymore at this point, because they have to work around with this trash build. And again, like I said, in comparison to an old car, you can like still drive around with the car and it's still tolerable. You know, it had its bad days, it had its weak days. But at the end of the day, in order to keep it alive at all, you're continuously trying to fix it, and that obviously takes both time and a lot of money. And at this point, one has to think again, like, because I've actually heard that they've been like that was already like a point of discussion in the past, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like, this now, I'm the first person to think of this idea, right? I've seen posts from like 2021, 2023, where there were similar things like, yeah, they need to rebuild, blah, blah, blah. Which, by the way, also already shows for like how long this has been thought about. And for how long they should have maybe considered it already. Like, if they would have done this years ago already, then we would already be in a much better spot. Like, continuing to work off of that... Like, trying to, like, continue to just... hold on to that build that's been just so fraudulent for many years now. Has definitely been biting them in the ass. Yeah. They should have made the choice years ago, but I feel like now, especially after the recent scandals, it's the point where they now need to do it. They need to. They don't. I feel like they genuinely do not have a choice anymore at this point. Because again, all of these bugs that are in the game, not only would they probably just disappear, generally speaking, right? I feel like if you just rebuild the game in general, then you probably won't have to worry about all those bugs. You'll be seeing less bugs. There will be less technical issues because the game is just much more stable. And even when they do a core, they will be much easier to fix and take care of. So what's gonna happen here is that, yes, right now it would be a huge investment financially and resource-wise, like... I have no idea where he continues to teleport, by the way. Maybe we should focus a bit on the game for a moment. Like, right now it's a heavy investment, but it's an investment that will be so worth it in various ways. It would be worth it in terms of community harmony. It would be so worth it in terms of like the general health of the game. They won't have to worry about like 50 bucks at all points, because again, they've been having bugs that have been in the game for years. The whole thing with the DDoS attacks was a thing for years, and it was super prevalent a couple of months ago. And again, when you have like 50 bucks at the same time, then yes, of course they won't be able to like fix all of them. It would take forever, right? Again, laying off employees was obviously a bad idea in general, right? And then they didn't make things better. But everything could be taken care of so much better if just like general fixes like Jim the Metal Beam would be so... wouldn't be so what is this game? Wouldn't be so resource you know. Because again, bugs like Jim the Metal Beam should be a thing of hours. It's something that should be easily fixed within hours. Yeah, when you like look at Riot Games as example. But it's just not possible in the current build. Not because the devs themselves are like incompetent or wouldn't know how to fix it, but because fixing it would probably lead to other issues elsewhere in the game. And they just don't want to risk it. So, like they said in that one update, there's other bugs we have to prioritize right now at the moment, or like other things we need to prioritize, because trying to fix these things here would lead to, I don't know, right? And that is not the fault of incompetent devs, that's a fault of a bad build. Which is, again, why the best solution for DBD right now for behavior to take is rebuild that potato from scratch. Not like by shutting down the servers right now, because again, that I think is financially just not a good thing to do. But to simultaneously have a separate new team, build it. I think he's 0. No, he's not. Where are the gens, by the way? I found like 1, but like he's been just chasing us the entire past 5 minutes without anything happening. Like now we have a problem, and he's gonna go for me. And now he's actually going for the gen. Okay, wow, that's good for us. Maybe he should have committed here. He would have been able to get a kill from me, but I guess the gen would have gone down. Ooh, stress. Stress. But again, I've been talking about this now for the past 30 minutes. And again, it would be the main focal point of that video I've been planning to come out later today or on Wednesday. Oh, wow, that was so close. What the hell? But I think if I just think about it for like 1 minute, it's just by far the smartest thing to do. Again, there are definitely some balancing things and, you know, stuff in that direction that 100% also needs to take care of. And just behavioral stuff like the dismissive of arts and blah blah blah. But DBD would be in so much better state if we go ahead and rebuild it. Because you just cannot continue to carry this broken down car much longer. It's just a waste of resources, you know. Now, the moment you buy the new car, yes, it would be expensive. Yes, you might have to struggle maybe a bit every now and then. But also, that's again the thing. Behavior isn't an indie company anymore. Like, this isn't 2017 or 18 or whatever. It's not like even 2020 one could say, okay, you know, with the pandemic and all that stuff, blah blah blah. But they literally just added FNAF and The Walking Dead into the game. Okay. Like, they must have been making a shit ton of money. They need to grab into the purse and freaking make something with it. You know what I mean? Like, just do something. Again, I know that, like, the general thing a company needs to think about is, like, business. Money. Right? Like, obviously one can say, hey... Oh, fuck. Oh, I guess he didn't see that coming. Can I make it up there? I mean, now maybe. Boys, body blocking. Excellent. Good stuff. Again, going out with 4 people seemed inevitable or like impossible, but the 3-man escape, I think we can take that. Yeah, it's like he's saying, committed chaseman, come on, just slowing down your fortress. That was the thing, he just had to make the decision at that point. Either he secures that 1 kill or he goes for the, you know, because it's demo. Demo, like, yes, he's good in defending, but like, there comes a point where he just can't defend anymore. And then he took that time, and yeah, I mean, he could have checked my gen a bit earlier. I think he just forgot about it. He didn't expect me to be there. Also, what is this? 2 Quentins going for the adapt at the same time? That's I've never seen that before. But again, to Survivor Road, so chill to talk.
Not again.
But like, yeah, to maybe wrap this part up now, so we could then maybe go ahead and play some killer instead. They obviously need to have the business aspect in mind. And in some way one could say, hey, it's a huge risk to invest that much money into a project while you have a game running at the same time. But again, you need to look at how the things are at the moment. You need to be realistic and realize that you just cannot drag this broken down car down the road much longer. Yeah. Right now, you still get it driving. Yeah, you can still drive it somewhat, but it keeps breaking down, it keeps having issues, and there will come a day, like the recent patch was the biggest example of the car is broken down, or like the car is stuck on the road, you know, and it will happen again. Yeah, even if they take the time to polish the new chapters, even if they do bug fixes and whatnot, new bugs will occur, new problems will arise, and it's not because the devs are incompetent necessarily, but because the build the game is running on right now just is not good. Okay? Just not up to date, it's faulty, it's like, I don't know how many years old, blah blah blah. They need to build a new one. That is the best thing behavior can do right now. It's gonna take money, it's gonna take resources. If anything, they will have to... Again, that's why I said they should have done this a long time ago, because if they were now to plan it, they would definitely have to either just completely slow down content output in general, because they need to take people they already have and put it to that project while trying to find new people for it. And that's obviously going to take a lot of time to get it all going in the first place. So it just would have been smarter to just do it a long time ago, because again, I think it just should have been thought about a long time ago that yes, maybe we need to, you know, instead of trying to consistently run behind $50 to just do things new. You know, one could really just call it DBD 2. Not in the sense of Overwatch, but like... better graphics, better performance, much more stabilized, so that all these things, like mentioned, that's been plaguing the game for a long time, won't be there. And again, you will always have the balancing questions, you will always have people upset at this and that, camping, tunneling, slugging, Swift, blah blah blah, I don't know. That will always remain, that's just Dead by Daylight, okay? That is always going to be a factor, that is always going to be something that will be soaring on part of the community. I think that's inevitable. And those are their own separate identities and things that have to be tackled as well. What the fuck? That timing was ridiculous. Jesus. But this right now here is the main thing they should be doing. Okay? The best way to, not necessarily save DBD, because again, I doubt it's really gonna die, but what's currently been happening is, just like because of the reason why I haven't played in 2 weeks, it's going to turn people off of your game. Other things do too, yes, but it's because again, when I look at League of Legends or Marvel Rivals, it will often have me mad, it will have me curse, it will have me be mad at heroes and designs and abilities, and I will be like, oh, why is that a thing, and fuck that, and it's unfair, it's unbalanced, blah blah blah. That is always gonna happen. And I might end up not playing the game because of those things, or like play it less. Sure. Which is again why they definitely need to take a deep look at their balancing identity as well. But those games will continue to have me see playing, and that's why I've recently played League of Legends again after like a year. Because the gameplay itself is just super fun. And the gameplay itself is super smooth. Just playing jungle in League of Legends, clearing your camps and whatnot. The map, the summer resort is awesome, blah blah blah. Marvel Rivals is just smooth as butter and everything like that. The gameplay experience and the gameplay loop itself remains amazing. But in Dead by Daylight, you have these balancing issues, and then you often end up with huge bugs and issues that affect that enjoyment of the gameplay loop. What is it with Total Landing though? That hasn't changed in 2 weeks. You know? I will always be able, like, I mean, I'm not always going to be able to excuse, balancing problems or stuff like the studios thing. Again, these are the kind of, things they definitely need to work on either way. But, like, technical problems, low FPS, bugs and stuff like that, that will always get me more, or like turns me more off on the game than balancing decisions ever could. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even need to do much more here. With all that being said, let's now focus on this game of Killer. Again, this will all be once again talked about in my upcoming video. Out either later today or on Wednesday. Gonna be great. It will be the, for now, last DBD related video in the sense of like critiquing behavior, blah blah blah. And I guess we just be a bit more frequent with streams in terms of DBD. Because again, those 2 weeks when I haven't played, I was like, oh, I definitely want to play a little bit now. Yeah, like, I still have the desire to play DBD. Like, the gameplay of DBD is still fun and everything, right? But it just becomes less fun when the game is like in a really bad technical state. So like, that's why I'm not critiquing it, because like, yes, there are the problems, there are the issues, but it's still like a sense of fun that would remain. And I don't want to have to quit the game because of like, you know. Like, again though, I've now made... Oh, maybe it's not a good proof. I've now made these videos, and especially that one video and the short have done some really good numbers. We're talking about like 20k, the short is like over 30k. And there were a lot of comments going like, I don't understand how people still playing the game. I don't understand how people... Bamboos is such a wonderful perk. I love Bamboos so much. How can people still give behavior money, blah blah blah. And that I definitely do gotta say, I think I'm not going to be getting too many skins anytime soon or whatnot. Like maybe the Rift Pass. The voice actor. Maybe, you know. So I'm definitely reducing that as well. Yeah, I definitely want to see some results now. Though again, as I said, in the technical aspect, those issues will remain. But at least in like the balancing stuff, there I definitely want to see some things changing. But yeah, like, there's been definitely a lot of people upset. There's a lot of people kind of angry. Not being a fan of the things behavior has been doing. And it's very understandable. Oh, it's done, baby. You know? Oh, she's just still moving. You know? Like, it's a community disharmony or like an anger that has been building up, and that will continue to build up unless they actually go ahead and fix those issues. Then again, I'm not sure if it's close by or not. These issues in terms of balancing will remain, and I'm not expecting them to suddenly make the game like super smooth within a couple of months or blah blah blah. Like, things would be immediately so much more calm if those technologies were the thing. 100%. Because, like, yes, obviously, again, the streetwise stuff, perks like conviction, blah blah blah. Those were like obviously a factor as well in the recent disharmony regarding the patch. But like, it were especially like the bugs that came with it that had people like really on the edge. At least me. Like, I was able to look over conviction or like all of those things, but like not kill switching perks. This is just me, or did he look ridiculously fast there? Why did I even go for it, by the way? I just should have stuck to the go. I was able to look over things like that, but like not kill switching clearly broken perks. And all the other technical stuff, that's what like turned me off the game for 2 weeks. You know? Because even before conviction there's been broken perks and other kind of stuff, right? Can't use the window. Hear footsteps behind me. Yeah. Be gone, Rick. Though once again, and this is definitely also a factor that, oh wow, the outage is already also gone. Like, it's not a thing. Yeah, it still took a bit of time to just casually talk here, blah blah blah, and I'm out here with like 2 hooks done. Am I mad about it right now? Yeah, not really, you know, and that's a good thing. Wow. Because again, one of the biggest issues in the game is definitely like the balancing, blah blah blah, but like also just the community in general. The way, oh, I did break this earlier. The way community like things about the game or whatnot. Like, we actually have a new update coming soon in regards of like slugging, camping, tunneling, blah blah blah, right? And there I have to say, I'm a little bit confused. Because do we really do that right now? Is that really a factor? Oh, okay, I see. I could have maybe predicted that, actually. The way he walked up to me, I could have predicted that. Whatever. Like, is it really a thing we need right now? You know? Because to me, honestly, personally speaking, I think that, wait, what, Shada? Oh, look at that. Everybody's like GG's, everybody's like, you know, good game, blah, blah, blah. And then you have that one cocky guy that plays Dead Other Than Flashlights who's like, oh, Shada. Weird. Like, everyone's just like, oh, geez. And then you have just one kind of weird guy. And his team comments say stuff like hot tunnel. That's funny. So like right now I think that's honestly not something we need. I think right now like that's once again this general philosophy in regards to like balancing and the direction the game is going. Is camping, tunneling, and slugging so bad at the moment that like it needs another like nerve slash buff towards the survivor side? Because I think it's been like a prime factor obviously ever since the game became a thing, because again, and that's something I said earlier, but it's also something I will talk about in the video, there are some things and mechanics that are simply DBD, and those are things you either accept or you just continue to be upset over and over. Like earlier in the game where we played against the demo, right? Where the demo started to zone away the other survivors. I was in Defog, I was really close to dying. I was glad that my team was so able to get me out. Some people would have been like, oh my god, that camper. Oh, what a noob, why is he camping me? Fucking blah. Right? But I was like, I get it. Yeah? There's like only 2 gens left. He needs some pressure. He needs to create some pressure. And getting the kill confirmed on me in that moment is the best play to do. to like actually go towards the goal of winning. Now obviously you can also just say whatever, like the game we just played, I was like, I could have tried out way more, I could have gone for the auto gun at one point, but I went after the rig again, blah blah blah, I don't know. Could have played it much more with the desire to win, but I just wanted to play. I didn't really care if I got many hooks or whatever in that recent game. But that guy obviously wanted to win, and in that moment that was the right play to make. Can I be like annoyed and be like, oh, I didn't want, or like, why is he camming me there? I could say that, but I know better. Why? Because I also play killer. I know the exact situation, I know that's the right play to do, I know that for Dead by Daylight, that is just the right play to make. That's the right mechanic to use in that moment. And stuff like camping, slugging, and tunneling will always be prevalent, right? Yes, there are some extreme cases where it's really bad and annoying, and like the slugging stuff, blah blah blah, what we've seen with the, you know, where people get slugged for 5 minutes, stuff like that. Those are like things that happen, but that are like, I wouldn't say rare, but like not the norm, right? Oh, hello, Aaron. I remember you. Yes, I do. Cool that you're here. I hope you're having a good time. So far, we've mostly been talking a lot about the recent issues regarding DBD. That I will also talk again in my upcoming video. And right now, we're kind of talking about DBD mechanics, balancing, blah blah blah. And again, you have some extreme cases of hardcore tunneling. And we've had it recently on stream too. I think it was actually in the recent DBD stream like 2 weeks ago, where we got hardcore tunneled by a blight. It was like hardcore tunneling, camping, zoning, blah blah blah, from the get-go. And I did ask him actually, is it really fun to play like that? And he was like, yeah, I want to win. And while maybe annoying for me, he's right. Or like, he's not wrong. Like, it is the best way to play the game if you want to win. And if his desire of playing DBD is I really want to win, then why can't I blame him, right? Like, you have this imaginary rule book that was made up at some point that people are like supposed to always follow along, when in reality people are really just playing the game. Even slugging survivors out for 5 minutes is technically a valid strategy. Now, is it something you need to do? Is it something that is enjoyable? Nah, like I wouldn't have fun with it either. I mean, there's some squads where I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't mind it. Because like, this is another thing. Imagine you run against the squads, like back in the day, that would send themselves to Eries, and they were running a boil overbuild. And they're just constantly downing themselves. Why does he have no jeans on? Constantly downing themselves at the top of main building, and you cannot hook them. That is the moment where I would just slug them, because I like literally cannot hook them anyways, and I see no reason to entertain them in that way. Like, they're in that moment playing the game that way, and then I have to find an answer for it. And that answer in that moment is to slug them. Because there are just cases where slugging is the right play to do. That's actually also why conviction was such a problem. Because it's like, we've seen that in like, where you don't even slug, technically. Like, there are just cases where you play against like people with flashlights, where you need to take a moment to look around the area, to scout, to see, okay, like the game we just had, there's a rig nearby, blah blah blah. I have to take a few moments to actually go ahead and see, okay, is he here? Is he doing things? Or like, is he about to get a flashy save, blah blah blah, you know? Slugging him there for a moment, it's necessary. Well played, Jonah. It's a play I need to consider. And that's why conviction's like that, because it's just a completely counter set. So like, slugging in moderation, or like, it's something that just is a valid mechanic in many moments. Like, this entire idea that like slugging is like a generally very bad, malicious thing or whatever, it's just wrong. You know what I mean? Or like, I fucking knew it. I didn't see it. I didn't see anything because of nowhere to hide. I should have known. I was like, as I opened the door, wait a minute. I didn't see her anywhere. I think she's gone to the locker. These people are good. Like right now, if you look at this game right here, Shrink Jab, a bit of a weak killer. They're being super good at chase. They're doing super well with their with all the stuff. If I want to have maybe any chance of, like here right now, look at this. I need to drop her. Why? There's no basement. This isn't open. This is all blah blah blah. I have no way to hook her in time. And not even gonna bother to pick her up again because I'm just gonna let her later now. It's just, there's just no point. You know, that's now a moment where I need to slug. So what would they like now do if like what would the recent or like the new update would do? What would it do here? Because I did hear about like that one of the things they wanted to do is apparently like give everybody like a base kit unhooked or like base kit anti-slugging thingy. Which she apparently would have not been able to pick herself up or something. Where I'm like, why? Like, the only reason I didn't hook her right now is because I literally couldn't. And why would I be getting punished for it? You know what I mean? Like, something like slugging and tunneling and camping, blah blah. Oh. Are just things that exist and will exist and have to exist in some way. It's just a mechanic. It's just a vital part of Dead by Daylight. And I feel like constantly trying to adjust or balance those things that, in my opinion, just like what Dead by Daylight is. It's not always the best way to go about it. Again, I'm not saying I want to be able to like, and you need to imagine they've already done a lot. In that sense, like, just imagine how bad it was a few years ago, where face camping was still a thing, or like, where this guy is solid. You could still face camp, and I don't know, like there was no camp indicator, but they already did a lot, and I think all of those things are actually pretty good. I really want to know now, does John have conviction here or not? This would have been a moment conviction would have been insane. Like, I literally hear the other guy behind me. I'm kind of forced to go for it. If he would have had conviction, could have used it here. Conviction with Soul God here would have been insane. He didn't though, so it's fine. So like, already did a lot of things. And I'm like, at the moment where I'm like, do we really need more? How much more anti-slugging slash camping slash tunneling does it need to be? Because like already been like so heavily adjusted over the years, and it's ultimately a necessary part of DBD, right? This goddamn ace skin, I cannot then. This ace skin is so funny. Yeah, like, I can barely think right now. I don't even know what's like the best play to make it right now. Oh my god, this fucking rock. Been catching myself up in conversations and talking. I'm definitely still of the opinion that the game is a bit survivor-sided at the moment. 100%. And I feel like that is currently a thing that, in my opinion, is not really something they should focus on. Like, we've already adjusted camping, slugging, tunneling so much. To the point where it's like already so restricted that you cannot even like do it all the time. You know? And again, I can say that because I like actually like play both roles, you know. That's why I said earlier that like this entire community aspect of like listen to your community isn't always the best idea, because there are some people that only play Survivor, that only play Killer, that will have unreasonable takes. You know? And I think it is one of the most important aspects to be able to like properly discuss about the balancing stuff in DBD, is to play both sides, right? And some people just don't do that, you know? Which is why, again, I think listening to an odds or hands would be so good, because those two like really play both and have their expertise on both sides and both issues of the coin. By the way, what happened actually? They really had this game won, and like, that's not a funny thing. Was me slugging the girl downstairs, was that really the turning point? And the only reason... Wait, basement... Wait, basement is here. Oh, wow. When I picked her up earlier here, I unfortunately just couldn't see. Oh, I couldn't see the hooks that go into basement. I sadly didn't see that. Okay, my bad then. My bad. I mean, still good though. Like, in that sense, it was that actually, I guess, a pretty good play after all. Because... Oh, I'm so good on this killer, by the way. Jesus. Oh, I should have pre-dropped that. That art? Oh. Can't FDS either. Okay, weird. Oh, and they messed up the Gen 2. Oh, that could be costly for them. Okay, then actually the slugging I did down there, then you could say it was one of tactical sorts. Oh, I went for the wrong door. I went for the wrong door! Oh, no, 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 no. That was close. Like, here's the thing now. We had no hooks until like the second gen, or like until only like 2 gens were left or something, right? The only reason why I'm winning this game right now, or like why I'm actually having somewhat of a chance still, is because I made some good plays. Like the slugging on the Fang, that was apparently actually not that bad, even if unwanted. But also because of them making a lot of mistakes. They've been making a lot of mistakes here, I can definitely say. Well, I guess that was a good showcase here right now. Wow, she's actually giving up. That was so winnable for them. Like, this is such a good map too. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. Really giving up? Why? Man, Jonah was so solid. Like, in that sense, slugging was really good. You wanna know why? Oh, goddamn, the ceiling was so high. Because I kind of saved myself time, right? Again, Summer can kill itself so much. These goddamn insects. I've already captured so many of them, by the way, but like, it's still inevitable. Again, I keep trying to go for plays like this, but I guess I can't even work without the head on. That's the thing right now. The ace is 100% down there. Either just keep committing to the chase. I mean, he's actually leading me here. We went after that Shin. Wow. Oh, that's so unfortunate. I'm just committing to this Jonah. I don't care. If the ace gets out, then let him. The slugging was actually pretty good because, again, like, why do people slug even? This is the thing again. A lot of people associate slugging with, like, being toxic. And I kind of get it because, again, yes, there are some extreme moments where someone just slugs out everybody for, like, 5 minutes. And it's, like, maybe, like, taunting them in the meantime, blah, blah, blah. I've had it done to me before. I've seen it, you know. But in that sense, it was, like, a good strategy because I then have to spend like 20 seconds to go to the hook. She is incapacitated in that time. I need to force the other players to actually pick her up in that moment, which is like downstairs, which is like much more difficult to access than like a hook outside. And again, due to the time that I saved, I was able to like immediately go to a different hook and apply pressure there. You know, you incapacitate the survivor, you save a lot of time. Hooking isn't necessarily always the best thing to do in a moment. Sometimes slugging is just a much better option in terms of like trying to make a comeback happen. That was the case here. We had no hooks. We had like 3 or 4 gens done already. And then boom. We went ahead. We unwillingly slugged her again. If I would have seen that the basement was there, I would have actually hooked her. But actually turned out to our favor. And boom. Was that toxic for me? Not really. Right? He, by the way, did have it, so that was conviction. Wasn't toxic whatsoever, it was just me playing the game in that moment, right? And this is again one of those very fundamental issues within the DBD community, where mechanics like that get looked at as toxic. Again, there is definitely a sort of association between some mechanics and toxicity, like slugging, like camping with face camping, for example, or like tunneling. Even though, again, tunneling also is just often just the best way to play the game if you want to win, which again is something that you can be annoyed or upset about, but it's just a game, okay? It's just a fundamental main mechanic of the game that you just have to accept. Yeah, that's just that by that. It will always be that way. I'll get into your question in a moment, by the way. Let's play a different killer right now, though. Actually, let's first answer your question. Who are my mains? For killers, I would definitely say Springtrap, Unknown, and maybe even Wraith. Even though, like, some have a bit higher prestige, but I think these 3 are definitely my favorites to play. Let's play Unknown. I should have got more cakes on him. Oh, I do have a few. Wait, why Predator?
And strange.
And for survivors, I would definitely go with like Leon, Ada, Jill, the Resident Evil boys and girls, but also definitely like the thing with for survivors, it's like a bit of a difference because they're like technically all the same, just different looks, right? Like they don't have any powers or whatever. That's something that, by the way, some people suggest. Like, imagine they actually gave survivors, other than perks, like actual things, like little bonuses. Like that one survivor is a bit faster and the other survivor can do this and that. I think that would probably break the game a little bit, if we're being honest. Though it's a cool idea. But yeah, other than the Resident Evil girls and boys, I would probably also say stuff like Sable. Alan is super cool. Obviously, Rick and Michonne are super cool additions. There's a lot of very cool survivors. 100%. Just from plaything, I guess. Okay, one of my biggest issues is, especially when you're in the middle of gaming, you're ranting and you're talking, and then just kind of get lost in the sauce. Because your mind needs to be at so many points at once. Like, that's why I said earlier, playing Survivor is much more chill than Killer, because it's just easier to focus and concentrate on what you're saying. Because you just gotta definitely do a bit more throughout the game in terms of thinking when playing Killer. But yeah, stuff like tunneling, slugging, hammering, blah blah blah. For some reason, people just immediately associate it with toxicity, which is just foolish. When I tunnel, when I camp or zone or slug, it's usually really just with the sense of the gameplay. Me trying to win the game or whatever. Again, we've had games like the one with Springtrap, the first one we played, where I was like, I don't really care. I'm just like, you know, just shutting my brain off and just going for random whatever chase. I'm just playing the game a little bit. Yeah, in that sense, I just wanted to have fun with the gameplay loop. But this again, the issue, some people just don't enjoy losing. Or like, they don't have as much fun when they're losing as when they're winning. And camping, slugging, tunneling, blah 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 are often just the best mechanics to use when you want to win. And some survivors will always say stuff like skill issue. If you need to camp, if you need to tunnel, if you need to slug, you're just bad. Skill issue, bro. That once again just shows me a bit of a disconnection, because these people obviously just don't play killer and understand the role, or like the situation at the moment. Because yes, there are some maps, there are some matchups, there are some killers that are like weaker. You know, there's a big power creep. That's also something I thought about talking in the video, because again, I originally want to structure it with like 3 big points. One of them being like power creep and balancing in general, because again, you have killers like Nurse and Blight, or like by far the strongest in the game without any competition. And you have to balance perks and mechanics around those two, because they're just so strong that even like good Swifts often struggle against them. And then you have to nerf the game around those two, and it would just affect weaker killers like Trappers so much, you know? Like this disconnect between the strongest and the weakest killers, and everything needs to be modeled around the top of the food chain, and it just affects those at the bottom very much harder. Like that's also one of the things they definitely need to do. Try to make more killers playable and like more builds and perks playable. Because yeah, at the moment, if you want to have a chance of winning as a low tier killer like Trapper, you often need to camp, you often need to slug, you often need to tunnel, and you often need to run insane gen regression perks. Because gens fly super fast. If you want to get a chase out on people while having no chase power, it will often take 2 to 3 minutes. On some maps, you might not even be able to get them whatsoever, because it is so W and drop pass, blah blah blah. Again, things you could easily talk about for like an hour. And also the reason why I actually decided to throw those points out in that big video, or like in my video, because it will be mostly about the rebuilding aspect, and everything else you could just draw out and rant about for like an hour plus. Because there's just so much convolution to it. Some people always make it so simple and be like, you tunnel, you slug your camp, boost it. And I'm like, no, there's so many situations at the moment and so many things you need to think about and blah blah blah, right? But anyways. Okay, then let's do that. We've now been ranting all this time and just talking about like things and issues and recent things. Let's now make this a bit of an educational game. I would be honest, I haven't played Unknown in a moment, but I was like immediately obsessed with the killer when they originally came out. And I think I even have still a few videos left of that on the channel, I'm not sure. Again though, in that sense, by the way, it's definitely always better to like seek out very specific killer mains, or like channels like Odds and stuff like that to do teaching. Also Mount Ormond Dope perfect. Okay. We are playing the Unknown on a very good open map. That's really nice. We use the perk Leave a Pursuer, so we have a bit of an idea where people are. We immediately get the first hit out because they are AFK, I guess? Nope. It's already though, Leave a Pursuer is like one of the best perks you can pick, because you like immediately get an idea where survivors are. And for an Unknown, that is always great. Generally, no matter which killer you're playing, it's always a good thing to run this perk, because it will make your early game a whole lot nicer. Right. And it's often just definitely like the bread and butter of your game. A good early game is worth so much. Not struggling a long time to find people, immediately being able to initiate stuff. That was great. Now we use Nowhere to Hide. Cut of it. A perk that once you hit the gen shows you the aura of survivors nearby. Another trick I can show you in a second. Like right now we place down our little teleport thingy, right? You can actually delay that. Look, you're seeing it here in the bottom corner right now, right? It's close to be up, it's soon to be up. When you hold your power, you actually delay it a little bit. Look at that. Right now it's not spawning. Because I held the power. And now it's dropped down. That is a good little trick you can make. In order to like position your teleport, I don't even know what you call it, reflection? No, there's other words for it. It's a really good way to decide where to drop it down. Because obviously you just want those things on some spots more than others. Like near a gen, maybe near a shack or something. Ah, a bit too far. Right. Well, now again, I can now just let it drop down here. I could already hold my power out. But I'm just gonna let it stay here. Boom, we put it down here, that's fine. We did a little loop. Not shabby. Just now was able to do this. Oh, okay, never mind. Life is unfortunate. Well played by her. But like, that's one of those tricks that you can make. Once again, you saw how it would have already dropped itself down, but because I held my power, it actually didn't. And now the next one is dropped down. You know? That is one of the best tips and tricks. What? Wait, she just walked past me like that. Whoopsie. In like order to kind of dictate where you want your Hoxes to be. Oh, she's pretty solid though. I kind of messed it up though. That was a bit of a bad play on that one pallet. Other than that, Unknown is one of those killers that you just kind of need to play a lot. Getting the angles right. Understanding like the way it bounces is really important, because that's like one of the cool things. It like kind of bounces against walls or like on structures. So these are things that you just need to, where it's basically just learning by doing. Yeah, that's always a thing in any game. You have a lot of characters that you just have to learn by playing them. Where you can like obviously know a few tricks every now and then. But the by far most you'll understand is by, like here example. I used it against a pallet to drop down and it hit her. And boom. I see they're here. I can get close by. Next hits. And we're going after them. Could have stayed with the other girl, sure. But this way I'm disrupting the heal on the other guy, or like the other girl. Because it would have definitely healed now, and I'm disrupting instead. And now we have like 2 injured survivors across the map. By the way, these guys will fly soon. It makes me so insane. They just won't go away. I've had them gone for like a little while. And then others just returned. I murdered their grandparents or something, but the family, like, you know, the nephews are back. Oh wait, she disappeared. I don't even think you can hit them like that. But I just wanted to do it anyways. Wonderful. It's like, I'm known, and that's exactly why I love playing the killer so much. High skill ceiling. Definitely one, like, also super fun to play against. It's, in my opinion, one of the best killers they've ever released. Because it requires skill to play. Requires skill to play against. And generally, just anything that, like, requires dodging and, like, predicting and stuff like that always just makes for a very fun game experience. Like, this was super good from her. She sees me, like, aiming out here. And it was super smart from her to, like, go ahead and just drop the pallet on top of my head. Another good trick on windows instead of like trying to hit over the window so that it like hits them like on the ground after they vaulted, you can do it right against the window frame. So that like in the middle of the vault animation they're basically getting hit. So that instead of shooting it through here, you're shooting it right here. So that it like immediately explodes mid-air. Obviously you get a thing of timing. A thing that you will get better at the more you play. Right. Okay, right now we have around half possible hooks. And only one gen left. Right now, the smartest player could do is just get a Declaret. Yeah, just go after her here. Instead on hook, it would definitely make everything a whole lot easier. Getting a survivor out here would definitely be the smartest choice. Another thing here, as you see, you don't always need to just hit the thing like on the bottom of the ground. So it hits them like that. You can also just hit it against a stone and you're good to go. I'm actually going insane. Where are they fucking coming from? I'm being attacked. I'm being infiltrated. So annoying. Again, good that we set our thing down here because it was allowed us to like get quickly back to the loop. Oh, that was super unfortunate. You saw how I hit her, and she still had the thing on her. But okay. I think by the way, I need to leave here. Like if I not want to lose again right now, I need to actually defend the gens here. Yep, they're right on it. That was sadly a tree in the way. Again, nowhere to hide in same perk. Okay, I mean she's dead now. This is now the moment where I need to go for her. And it's not necessarily like camping or like tunnelling. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, now this is the thing. She would finish that gen if I'm not here. She's going to anyways, I think. Can we do this time-wise? We now walk over there, put her on the hook. Is she going to finish that in time? Ooh, that's going to be close. Again, I could have just gone for it right after the hook, but I didn't deem it as necessary or wanted to. This is not perfect here. Again, nowhere to hide is your bread and butter on this killer. Oh, that was bad. Because you can just so quickly initiate the next chase because you just know where they are. Again, don't even try to hit it on the ground. Just hit like the rock next to it and you're good to go. Okay, they had auto gen in the meantime. Okay, that's fair, that's square. Now I have the problem that I didn't have another place to TP to that exit gate, but that's okay. Like, this is the thing here now. That was just too much at once, right? This is the moment where if we maybe would have done a bit more work earlier, then we could have made this a bit easier for ourselves. Because, like, strong split on the gens across the entire map. So, like, while I'm doing stuff on this side of the map, they're just sitting on this gen here. That's just DBD, right? Not much you can do in that moment. That was horrible. And they're gonna be out. Well, bites. That was a super fun back and forth game. No idea what they're teabagging. That's a bit unfortunate. Because that is associated with a toxic behavior. As we talked about earlier, there are just some things that are a bit associated with it. But there's a big difference between, you know, crucial game mechanics and stuff like that. Whoopsie. And she just leaves. Okay. I think I showed a few mechanics here and there, right? That you can definitely take into consideration. But at the end of the day, the best way to get better at this killer is just to play him. High skill ceiling, a lot of little moments and spots that you know, like angles that you like want to get good at unless you like actually do them in game. You can, there's like again some guides out there, similar thing Death Slinger and Hunters, where you like get kind of an idea, or like can see some examples of where you can do like crazy shots. But beyond that, it's something that you just need to feel for yourself. Same thing in League of Legends. Like one of my absolute main champs in League of Legends is Nidalee. And Nidalee is a kind of champion. I'm not sure, by the way, if you know League of Legends or not, then it might be difficult for you to get an idea of what I mean. Let's play another one, by the way. They're like, for a new player, will be very difficult to pick up. And it was the same case for me. Okay, when I first played Nidalee, like 9 years ago, god damn, I've been playing League for so long. I was horrible. I saw one of my favorite streamers play her, I was like, oh, she looks fun. I tried it for the first time, I'm like, ouch. Oof. I sucked. Okay. But the more I played her, the more I got into her kit and her abilities, the better I got. And nowadays, it's like complete muscle memory. It's like complete, like, I don't need, like, I didn't play the game for like 1 year. I came back to playing, I played her. And it was like a switch going off in my brain. Like it just did. And boom. I instantly knew how to play her, all the abilities, the cooldowns, the movements, when to do what, the placement of blah blah blah. It was just so deeply implemented into my brain because I played like hundreds of games on her. And it's just something that will stick with you. And the same thing applies to any other like design or like kit in games, similar to the Unknown. Though there is definitely a little bit of a difference because like a first person gameplay like this is definitely a bit different to a MOBA, for sure. But like how to aim, how high, the direction, being like able to tell how it's gonna fly, the curve, the way the thing will interact with like the wall or the ground, or blah blah blah. Those are things that you can like read yourself up a little bit upon, but you need to experience them for yourself. You need to sit there, you need to go ahead and just play. Play, 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 and the more you play, the much better of a feeling you get. And trust me, muscle memory, no matter which game, it will always be like the most important thing. And you just won't get muscle memory unless you just play, right? Muscle memory being like able to do things and like use an ability or like understand what you're doing at that moment. It will just all be done like so much easier and more naturally once you have that muscle memory built up, right? And again, it's definitely more applicable to like heroes with like more abilities and blah blah blah. Like technically speaking, it's not something that really applies to Trapper. Okay, like if you just look at Trapper himself, because Trapper just sits on trap, and other than that, it's just like basic DBD. But even here, like for that basic DBD, there's like basic muscle memory and like knowledge that will bring you far, right? Because at the end of the day, even though every killer is different, they all share the same main similarities, the general looping, the general like knowledge of, okay, where could the survivor be going here in that moment, what gen could it be on right now, what could be the next play in the middle of a loop, would it be going for the vault here, what's the 50-50 life level. Those are like things that will like always be better for you the more you play, right? Experience is everything. And DBD is insane in that way, by the way, because I'm not sure how long you've been playing or how long your partner's been playing. I'm now actually closing in onto the 2,000 hour mark. I'm at like 1,870 at the moment, which if you think about it is insane. Like 1,800 hours? How many days are that? Let me quickly Google. How many days are 1,700? They're so persistent, it's crazy. Those are different types. The flies that were here like a few weeks ago that I've been able to get rid of, they were like gone after I swapped them away and they would leave me alone, but those are like so persistent. 77 days. I've played 77 days of pure Dead by Daylight in the past like 3 years, which is, it's an insane number. Like if you tell it to like any like middle-aged person working a regular job that like has maybe never touched a PC in their life, they would be looking at you like 77 days? For Dead by Daylight standards, this is low. 77 days of just Dead by Daylight is low. Which, if you think about it, is ridiculous. But it is kind of true though. Or like, to some degree. It's just generally the thing with games in general. Like Dead by Daylight or League of Legends. Though I think it's honestly even more applicable to League of Legends because again, you like have this basic idea of survivor versus killer. You have the looping, you have the gens, blah blah blah. And it's definitely like knowledge and experience you have of how the killer interacts, and you know, like it goes both ways. You need a lot of experience on both sides. The way you loop and the way you move as a survivor, the decision making you do, it's all so much dependent on how long you can play the game and how much experience you have. You look at a game like League of Legends, I think that goes much more into it. The games go like 30 minutes to like 40 minutes, blah blah blah. You have 10 different heroes, 10 different champs. Goddamn Marvel Rivals. Champs, heroes, killers, so many characters. All of them have 4 abilities, passives. You have like 100 items. And League of Legends is much more complicated in the sense of like wave management, jungle camps, objectives, drakes, pushing, when to and where, and when do you build this and that and blah blah blah, right? Like this is in a whole nother story, right? But it's the same case there. The more you play League of Legends, the more you play your character, the more you will understand it. Which is why, again, I hadn't played League of Legends in like 1 year. But then after seeing some tweets, blah blah blah, whatever, on YouTube, on Twitter, I was like, ah, come on, let's load up the game again. It's been a while, why not? I want to kind of play some League this week. Then I get back, and it just flows also naturally. There was little to like no rust at all. Like I did an ARAM at first, and then I just went right into the Rift because, or like to the rank, because I'm like, I've played the game for like maybe 1 decade. I have hundreds of games to this game, which again isn't even that much in comparison to what like pros play or whatever. And just all flows naturally. It's all muscle memory, it's all there. There's some new items that I had to read up at first, blah blah blah, or like a new champ with new abilities that I wasn't familiar with yet, but like all of that I was already like so familiar with, to the point where even if I haven't played after 1 year, it's just there. That switch in the brain just clicks in and boom, I'm in it, right? And the same applies to DBD. Hey, that's Cyberfurry. Wait, TCOF, the casting of Frank Stone, right? Oh, you're at 12,000 hours, holy shit. God damn, how long have you been playing for? How many years? I would love to know that. Because yes, 200 hours is super little time. And again, that's crazy if you think about it. Because this is the thing with like multiplayer games in general. You play them so much, right? Nearly 2,000 hours on DBD. Marvel Rivals came out in December. And I already have over 500 hours on it. I look at one of my favorite games of all time, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I can't find it in my Steam library right now. I have like 500 hours on that. And I'm like, bro, I played for Odyssey for like 1 year or more. I was like, totally forgot I have Lead Pursuer. And now Marvel Rivals has been over a few months and have the same amount of playtime. Does it mean I like Marvel Rivals more than that game? Nah. Because like, you know, it's just a big difference between like story games and multiplayer games. Oh wow, that's kind of mean. Why is he so quiet? I think it's Last Stand, right? The way he moved over the belt there seemed a bit odd. Okay, I was so into talkative flow, but now I actually gotta concentrate. God damn it. Should go back to playing Survivor. That was weird though. I actually long, but beautiful. That's what I mean. I already had like the mouse aimed at it, And then I went a little bit higher because I knew that's what I needed there. Same thing here. I already had a bit of an angle, but I saw there was a roof up top, or like the top of the, you know? And you have to take it a little bit higher to make it there, or like wait half a second. That are the things that you only will do and make happen once you have some games on it. And again, even here, I like don't have that many games. I gotta be honest. But even here in that moment, some survivors would have just dropped the pallet. She played a bit greedy. I wanted to greed the pallet a little bit, a 50-50, right? Those are things that you like just have to gamble with a little bit. You know, those are the things that you just in that moment kind of need to decide, okay, what do we do here? Because you never know. Some survivors play like that. Some survivors play like this. Some will just drop every pallet right away. Others will, you know, play super greedy, blah, blah, blah. Those are things you just don't know before, and that's the things that you like need to feel at first, or like see at first. Okay, how do they play the game? You know that stuff, right? It's like, again, that's why playing like multiplayer games so much is like the only way to get really good at them, because it's all about experience. Oh, imagine.
Is this worth?
But yeah, it's crazy how many hours you actually end up playing like multiplayer games in comparison to story games. Well, that's like what makes story games so special. Often you don't even need to like play them for as much to have a much bigger impact on you. Again, this guy I think is last stand. Or? I'm not sure. So again, another topic one could like talk about for 50 years. And this once again the case where I'm so upset that I have asthma and that my voice is actually like already a bit tingly. Because I just love yapping. I love to yap, man. I love yapping so much. But my throat is sadly not that strong. Sounds so weird, but it's sadly the case. How much I wish I would be able to like if I could, I would stream for like 5 hours every day. Just yap and play and talk. Sadly can't. My body won't let me. But to get to the other question, to the casting of Frank Stone. Obviously made my playthrough for it. Another thing, the way I hit it here against that's so cool. And I also made a ranking video after I played that game. Oh, that was unfortunate. Good idea of her though. And for me, unfortunately, well, it's dead last in terms of like the quality of the supermassive games. It's not horrible by any means, but I think it's by far like the most boring and least enjoyable. That without a single doubt, in my opinion. Because obviously the whole DBD aspect is like more of a little wink. Like there's obviously some DBD elements in there, the killer dolls, blah blah blah, the gens you can repair every now and then. And obviously the whole ending part. But it like feels more like a bonus. The entire game could have also worked without the DBD influence. Uh-oh. Saw in that corner. But like the way the game was written, and the way the game plays, is unfortunately just like very slow, there's really not a lot going on. Choices feel like they really don't matter much. Oh shit, that was bad. Like, in comparison to House of Ashes or Until Dawn or The Quarry, there's like so little choices that matter. There's so little, like, exciting, highlighting moments. Like, when you think about the casting of Rain Stone, you think about the cool start. Like, that first chapter, super fun. And you think about the last hour or so. With the showdown in the catacombs. You think about the whole showdown in the final lodge, blah blah blah. Those kind of things to think about. Everything in between just feels so uneventful. There's little to no choices that really make a difference in the playthroughs. There's like barely any other outcomes here, by the way. 1 gen left. It's just the smartest thing to do to get out of the game here. Sorry. See, even he's like, sorry, my bad. Even though I shouldn't be sorry, I'm just playing the game. Just makes sense. It's just the right thing to do here, my bad. Like, again, this disconnect, by the way. Like, why am I sad here? Why am I upset? Why should I feel sorry? I'm just playing the game. It's just the right play to do. She's trapped now, by the way. She can't do anything here. That was super nasty. But like, yeah, Castle of Frankenstein sadly super boring. Arguably, or like, without a single doubt, mapping the weakest game in the Supermassive Games catalog. Like, if it was like the very first game they've ever released, I would have been like, oh, it's a bit slow at points, there's some things here and there. You know, but like, when you know how some of the other games look like, then it's just really not easy to talk well. Again, some of the characters were nice. The game has its moments as well, without a single doubt. But like, in comparison, it's just really, really not good. I wanted to go for the David, by the way. Don't see him. I think I hear him. I hear him the entire time, but I just couldn't pinpoint it out. And that's, by the way, once again, where I know what to hide. Peak perk. So, Casting of Frankenstein, unfortunately, in my opinion, like, in my tier, I think I put it onto C. It's still fun to play for, like, one time, but I feel like it's definitely the one I would, like, replay the least. Or, like, it has the least replayability. Because everything that happens in between is just like... You can basically just play the first chapter and the final 2 and you're good to go. What the hell? Oh, I'm not sure which perk this is. What the hell? Where did he go? He just disappeared into thin air. By the way, here I literally just ignore the girl because I'm like, yeah, I have to game one anyway, whatever. That's a weird situation right now. I'm not sure where they are, what they're doing. On this gen. Oh, she took away my thing to teleport. Oh, can you just get this guy off the hook, please? What the hell are you doing? What the hell? I didn't even want to launch it. I purposely don't go for the kill blow on the back. I'll actually let them go for the unhook and they just take it. Oh wow. Damn, that was a crazy bounce. I wanted to do it straightly, but if it works, it works. Okay, let me catch up on the chat, by the way. That's the thing, by the way, when you play Survivor, you can read the chat much better. Because again, Survivor is just so much more chill and relaxing to play. Well, girl, you better hope that I don't kill you before the hatch spawns. I already gave you... Oh, she's actually going for the rescue. Well, if you want to have the chance, maybe you'll get it. Hey, leave my thing alone! Stop touching my remains. Ah. I get into chat in a second. Jeez. That was a super fun game though, by the way. That was really fun. Oh, Disable had some good perks too. Good game. Now let's get to chat. Been playing since Doctor. Goddamn, wasn't that 2017? Wasn't that the chapter with Fang? Jesus. First of all, thank you so much for your praise towards my channel. The problem with my channel at the moment, or like the problem with my channel in general, are two things. One, inconsistency with uploads. I'm just too procrastinative. I just take my time too much. I just end up getting lost in script writing or like thinking about 10 ideas at once, and then I don't start one of them. I feel like if I really, if I wasn't so, again, I'm sadly not diagnosed yet, but I'm still thinking about doing so because I definitely have autism, HD, well, I don't know. If I was normal in that sense, could like actually focus on a lot of things or like do them easier, then I could easily throw out a video every 2 days, and then the channel would definitely be doing even better. And the second problem is that I do so many things that I like don't have like one very specific niche, but like really drift out into a lot of different directions. Some short videos, some talk videos, playthroughs, live streams, shorts, edited videos, uncut videos, blah blah blah, right? I have so many things from like every different spectrum, some like that, and it kind of creates a little bit of a conflict. But it's okay to me because I don't want to restrict myself too much. Right? I just want to do whatever I want to do, and if it works, then great, and if it doesn't work, then unfortunate. But like, same reason why I now streamed Mario Kart last week, some Battlefield over the weekend. Not as many views as now DBD would do. Like right now we have 20 viewers at the same time. That's my record so far, I think, on YouTube.